Good morning, Algebra. Let's talk today about solving quadratic equations by factoring. So yesterday we talked about solving quadratic equations by factoring using the greatest common factor. The steps that we follow are the same no matter what equation we're solving by factoring. If it's a quadratic equation or if it's an equation with an exponent higher than 1, right? If it's got an exponent of like an x squared or even an x to the third, although that'll come in a couple days, okay? So let's take a look. The first step yesterday was move everything to the left. Let me say this again. Move all of the terms to the left. Make an equation that equals 0. This is the only way that solving by factoring works. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of examples for today where we solve by factoring with trinomials, back to those original factoring concepts that we learned. Okay, so we're doing solving quadratic equations by factoring. Let's take a look at this example here. I've got n squared plus 8n equals negative 15. Now this is not an equation that equals 0, so let's make it equal 0. I added 15 to both sides, so I've got n squared plus 8n plus 15. Now I'm always going to put my highest exponent first, and then my next highest, and then all the way down to the lowest exponent. So this is an exponent of 2. There's an invisible exponent of 1 there. And then I've got my constant 15, okay, where there's no exponent visible and there's no variable. So I'm just going to factor this. N squared plus 8n plus 15. What factors of 15 add up to equal 8? I put my n's in place, right? N times n is n squared. 5 times 3 is 15. And 5n plus 3n give me 8n. So it looks like I factored correctly. And now again I'm asking, what could n equal just for this factor to make this equal 0, this whole factor equals 0, so that 0 times n plus 3 equals 0, which is true. Well, n would equal negative 5 for that. And then I'm going to ask myself the same thing for this factor on the right. What value of n would make n plus 3 equal 0, so that n plus 5, no matter what it is, times 0 equals 0, and that makes the equation work. Well, of course, that's n equals negative 3. All right, let's look at my second example here. b squared plus 5b minus 35 equals 3b. I need to notice right away that this does not equal 0. Okay, let me switch sides here. This is not an equation that equals 0. So I needed to move everything to the left. This is the key. Move everything to the left. So subtract 3b from both sides, and I get b squared plus 2b minus 35 equals 0. I've got my equation equals 0 because I moved all of the terms to the left, and now I'm going to factor it. b plus 7 times b minus 5. So the question there again is what factors of negative 35 are going to give me 2b if I add them together. So put b in place, plus 7b minus 5b gives me positive 2b in the middle. Positive 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. And so then the question is, what does b equal in b plus 7 to make it equal 0? Well, it's negative 7. So negative 7 plus 7 would equal 0 times anything over here equals 0. So 0 times any number equals 0. What would make b minus 5 equal 0? Well, that would be 5. So this is how I would write my answers for these particular problems. Okay, it's pretty simple to do that. So we've got this idea that we're going to move everything to the left no matter how we are solving by factoring, because we're going to continue to solve using different factoring methods. Move all of the terms to the left, move everything to the left, move all the terms to the left equals 0. then factor what's on the left, and you want to factor it completely, okay? Today we're going to just take a look at factoring trinomials, the simple ones. Let's start with just a 1x squared or n squared or a squared, okay? So we're going to do the 8-3 study guide and intervention page with equations, and I'm going to write out some examples so that you can check those out, all right? I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you someday. Bye.